unintentionally and never went to exile for it.
Wow.
Meaning and now Hashem is going to make sure that he's going to go to exile. That's the case that the Pasuk Gemara says, "Velokim ina liyado." Hashem, the Pasuk says, Hashem prepared the situation. The Gemara had a great question. Mike, we're sorry, we had a little technical difficulty. Now we're just, Akiva is just fixing the computer. Now we're talking to YouTube. You're doing both?
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, Mike. So the idea is we had a pasuk in the Torah that says "Velokim ina liyado," that Hashem prepared that this should happen, that a person should get killed. And the Gemara had the question: how could that be? Why would Hashem prepare somebody that someone should get killed? You know, we say Hashem gives a person the bechira, the choice to make the right decision and the wrong decision. It's not predetermined whether you're going to be a good person or a bad person. And killing someone unintentionally is something that you made a choice. In a certain sense, what was your choice that you made? That you were not as careful as you could have been. You went down the ladder and you weren't careful walking down the ladder. So that's something that's involved in your bechira, your choice. And we know that Hakol b'dei Shamayim, chutz mi'yirei Shamayim, Hashem does not push you to do a sin. Hashem, if you do a sin, it's your doing. And if it's your doing, so therefore, that's why you're responsible, the Rambam says. Why does a person get punished for their sins? Because it was their doing. Because if it's not their doing, if it was meant to be that they should sin, then how can Hashem punish a person for a sin? So therefore, it's a proof that it was meant that you made the decision to do that sin. So how could Hashem cause a person to kill somebody? Because we're saying Hashem is causing someone to kill someone and causing him to do something, and that person is going to be responsible. He's going to have to go to exile. How can a person go to exile for something that God may happen? God is not going to punish a guy. Exile is a punishment. God's not going to punish someone for something that he did not do himself. The answer is because this guy has a history. What was the history? The history was that he had killed someone unintentionally before, in a way that he was obligated to go to exile. And that was something that he could have prevented. He could have been on top of his game. He would not have killed the guy to begin with the first time. And the reason why the murder happened the first time, because he wasn't on top of his game. He wasn't as careful as he was supposed to be. Therefore, because Hashem needs to even the score, therefore Hashem will go ahead and pull the strings behind in such a fashion that this guy should kill the other guy unintentionally. We want to say hello to Dr. Navid, who has joined us. Good morning, Dr.
Boker
Navid.
Tov.
Boker Tov. Okay, we are on the Gemara on Yud Amud Beis. In the Hebrew, we are on the first wide line of the page. It's about 10 lines up from the page. And in the English, it's 10B, 10B, 10B article, 10B1 on the right side. 10B1 in the middle of the page on the right side. Amar Rabba Baravuna, Amar Ravuna. Rabba, the son of Ravuna, says in the name of his dad, Ravuna. Mike, you got the Gemara? Amar Rabba Baravuna, Amar Ravuna. You got it, Mike? Very good. Rabba Baravuna says the name of Ravuna, says the name of his dad. Amar Allah, you have it, Mr. Safdie, or not? But Amar Allah, and some say Amar Ravuna, Amar Rabba Laza. Some say it was Ravuna that said the name Rabba Laza. Min ha-Torah, from the Torah, min ha-Nevi'im, min ha-Ksuvim, from the Torah, min ha-Nevi'im, min ha-Ksuvim, we have the following principle is taught. B'derech sha'adam notze leilech, the way that you want to go, molichanoto. You make a decision in life, how you want to lead your life. You want to be a tzaddik, you want to do the right thing in life, you want to be a good Jew. the way you decide, Hashem will lead you. Hashem Hashem will lead you. What I would understand that means that Hashem will help you. The Marsha says, the Gemara doesn't say, it doesn't say the singular language that Hashem is in a singular language, which Molech would say, which sounds like in the Gemara, Hashem will lead you. So why does it say Molichin also? Why did it say they will lead you? Why they? It should be Molich in a singular fashion. Hashem will, the singular, Molich. Molichin is they. So the Marsha says an amazing thing. Every machshava, every thought that a person thinks to do a mitzvah or chas v'sholom an avera, a malach, if you do have a mind to do a mitzvah, a good malach is created. If you want to do a sin, or if you want to do a sin, a bad malach is created. Like what they call the malachei chavala. These are malachim of destruction, because they had these malachim that are created as a result of a sin of the malachim of destruction, because these are the angels that are going to go up to heaven and they're going to try to prosecute. They're going to come to testify, look, this guy did I'm here because this guy did such and such a thing. How was I created? I was created because this guy had bad thoughts. You know, you're not allowed to have bad thoughts. You have to be careful not to have bad thoughts, because bad thoughts lead to sin. You have to be careful to keep your mind clean. And whether it's clean and whether always have in mind to do the right thing in life. And those malachim, those angels that are created from those desires that you have, what you want to do, they are the ones that will lead the person to do that action, whether it is good or whether it is bad. So that's the molichin also. They. Who's the they? The they are the malachim. The angels are the ones that are going to lead the person. Because, of course, if a person thinks to do good, most probably means that you think about doing the right thing not only once, you think about it many times. It's a derech, the way you want to go. It's a hanhaga of life, the way you want to conduct yourself. It's not something that you think about once. Something that you constantly think about on a regular basis. I want to do the right thing. I want to lead a proper life. I want to keep the halacha. So constantly you're creating malachim. And yesterday we learned Mike was on, Akiva was on. So when Rami was on yesterday, the idea of when a baby is in the womb of the mother, we spoke about the angels that are there that are protecting the baby, the fetus from the Yetzer Hara, that the evil inclination should not enter into the womb of the mother. And the angel is teaching, and they're teaching the kid Kol HaTorah Kula, the whole Torah. The angels are very involved in our lives. We don't see the angels. There was a time period when a person would go to the bathroom, they would say to the angels, to wait, say to please excuse myself, we're coming out. Amazing. The angels play a great role. Yeah, but we don't see them. We're not on the madrega, we're not on the level maybe to say that we're zocha to have all these angels escorting us, perhaps. There is discussion about it. Why don't we say it anymore? Why don't we talk about the angels anymore when we go to the bathroom? Before we go in, we say something to the angels. We know Friday night, you come home, we still say Shalom Aleichem. The Sfardim say Shalom Aleichem Friday night. Malachei Hasharet. Malachei Hasharet. We talk about the angels over there. Maybe on Shabbat, we were at such a high level, the holiness of Shabbat, therefore we could talk in that way. Yeah, they say Shalom Aleichem. Now it's interesting. The Gemara uses this language that min HaTorah, min HaNaviim, min HaKtuvim, we have this concept. Now the fact that we're going what does that mean? That means we have a pasuk found in the Chumash, a pasuk found in the Navi, a pasuk found in the Ksuvim to illustrate this point. It's also, I've quoted many times a different, the idea we have a similar Gemara regarding a different subject. Min ha-Torah, min ha-Nevi'im, min ha-Ktuvim, me Hashem isha la'ish. The Gemara says in Morikatan that a marriage is made in heaven. And the Gemara says we have a pasuk from the Torah, pasuk from the Navi and the Ktuvim. And I think the common denominator, I think, is the fact that it's illustrated in the Chumash, in the Torah, in the Nevi'im, in the Ktuvim, these concepts. It means these are basic concepts. These are concepts that are everyday life type of ideas, or ideas that are so important and so prominent that people have to constantly remember these ideas, that they're found and they're repeated in all areas of Torah. In the Torah, and the Nevi'im and Ktuvim, that a person has to realize marriage is made in heaven. And here also, this concept is a very big concept that people have to remember. And because it's such a basic concept, it's repeated all in different places. And we will find that this is something that's found in Torah and the Nevi'im and Ktuvim. What's the concept? And this is one of the big concepts in life. The big concept in life is, where do you want to go in life? Which direction do you want to take? Where are you headed? And you are the one who dictates your future. It's not predetermined what you're going to be, what type of person you're going to be, whether you're going to be holy or not holy, a good Jew or not a good Jew. It's up to you. Of course, we need Hashem's help to help us. But Hashem helps you. You need to take the step. You need to make a decision in life that you're going to go on the right path. Then you'll see things open up for you. You see, wow, I wanted to do good, and I got this job, I got this deal, I got this thing, or this blessing, you got that blessing, whatever it was. How did it happen? What happened? You have such amazing supervision. You see the hashgacha pratit. You see Hashem's help in your life. How did it happen? You know how it happened? You made a decision. How do you like that, Mike? Mike, amazing, the Gemara. Dr. Navid, amazing. The Gemara.
Rabbi, so what is but success is not always in your hand, you know?
Yeah, the question
like
is,
you could pass.
Like,
let's say you're trying to achieve something, okay, whatever the goal is, okay, and you don't achieve it because results are in the hands of Hashem. Results are not in your own hands.
It depends what results you're referring to, Dr. Navid. There's material
Tell me
results.
one that depends in your hand and one that doesn't.
So spiritual results are in your hand. If you want to go to Minyan in the morning, you want to learn Torah, you want to watch your mouth, how you talk, how you treat your wife, that's in your hands. How you treat your parents, how you treat your in-laws, how you act as a Jew, that's in your hands. What did you say, Akiva? But how much you're gonna make, how much money you're gonna make, and that's not in your hands. It could be.
So spiritual results in spiritual is in your hand, and materialistic is out of your hand.
Exactly. But of course, what you're doing when you do things right spiritually, you hope that there's a good chance that you're gonna have that's going to help you towards having spiritual success, a physical success at all. But sometimes God does not feel that the material success is necessary for you or best for you or whatever. It might not be. See, spiritual results are always great for you. Spiritual growth is always the right thing for you. But material success, these type of things might not be the best thing for you. And therefore, we say, Hakol, there's a very famous Gemara. Hakol bidei shamayim chutz miyirat shamayim. If the thing that's everything is bidei shamayim except yirat shamayim. Fear of Hashem. Fear of Hashem represents spiritual ideas. Fear of Hashem means how you want to act as a Jew. That's in your hands. But everything else, whether you want to buy a certain house, whether you're going to get that house that you want. Maybe Hashem wants to give you that house, you get that house. You know what? You want to get that deal. You want to hire a certain dentist. You wanted this. You wanted that. You want to get a good lease. Hashem wants to give it to you. If you feel that's best for you, it's in the cards. You deserve it, or whatever the reason is. However, Hashem, wherever He has His plan.
No. So you can do your part, whatever is spiritual, but in terms of blessings.
In terms of material blessing, you're going to have spiritual blessings when you do the right thing. There's no question. And many times Hashem promises also material blessing also. But sometimes it seems that there are people that, for whatever reason, Hashem holds back certain material blessings, but He'll give the blessings in other ways that maybe will have greater value, dollars and cents, than maybe the other material blessings that people talk about. That's what I would say. So the Gemara said, and the Gemara brings a pasuk that we just learned about very recently in the Parshiyot. Min Torah, where do we find from the Torah that Hashem lets the person, directs him to the place where he wants to go? And here the Torah, the Gemara is going to bring even in a negative thing, which is the scary part. It's not only when you want to do the right thing in life that Hashem will guide you there, but even when a person wants to do the wrong thing in life, they'll let him and even maybe assist him in a certain sense. What does the Gemara say? Min Torah, where do we see Min Torah? We find by Bilam, Siv. First, what does Hashem want to do to Bilam? He tries to dissuade him. We find that Hashem does not want a person to sin, even Bilam. Hashem, he's a non-Jew. Hashem doesn't want the non-Jew to sin. He wants to go and sin. He wants to curse the Jewish people. What does Hashem say? Ksiv lo selech imahem. Hashem says, don't go with them. Right? That's what Hashem says. Now look at the Chumash. I'll take out the Rashi in the Chumash. As part of the kindness, why did Hashem say lo selech imahem? As you know, Bilam wants to curse the Jewish people. Perach of Beis, Pasuk Yud Beis. What does Rashi say? Lo selech imahem. So, okay, I thought Rashi was, but again, Hashem, there's a Rashi somewhere that Hashem said he doesn't want them to sin. But what happens is he doesn't want to stop. Bilam still wants to go ahead and to continue and to go up against the Jewish people. I'm trying to see if I can find the Rashi that I was looking for. Okay. So, okay, we'll have to see further. But so what does the Gemara say? So the Gemara says, well, you know what happened? But Bilam wants to sin. He doesn't want to stop. He wants to go up and continue. He picked the derech. He wanted to go. So even though Hashem in the beginning tried to dissuade him, but then Hashem says, Siv, kum lechitam. Go with them. Go with the members of the Sari Moab, the leaders, the princes, the officials from Moab who came to get you to curse the Jewish people. So go with them. Why is Hashem saying go with them? Because that's the way you want to go. I try to stop you. You still want to go? Okay. But derech shalom motzei you're going to go. Min Nevi'im. Where do we find the Nevi'im? It says in Yeshaya, Ani Hashem Elokecha. I am Hashem Yagoi Melamedcha Lahoil. I am Madricha B'derech Telech. I show you and I lead you in the derech telech, the derech that you decide to go, that's where I lead you. Minaktuvim, from the Ketuvim, a pasuk in Mishlei says, "Im leitzim ul yalitz." If you want to go with the leitzim, you want to go with the scoffers, the jokers that make everything into a joke. That life, these are the people that are very dangerous. People that are leitzim. Leitzim are people that make light of everything. No serious, you could have a musa shmooze. You could have a whole hear an inspiring speech from the rabbi. Then the late says a comment, a joke, and he knocks off the whole inspiration. So if you want to attach yourself to the leitzim, that's what will happen. You'll be the leitzim who yalitz. You want to be with them, you'll be with them. La'anavim yitinchein. But if you want to be with the anavim, you want to be with the humble people, then you'll be with them. Then you'll be a person that will have chen. Everybody will be happy with you. You'll find favor in people's eyes if you're with the anavim. The Rambam in Hilchos Shuvah is fascinating. I recommend that everybody should look at the Rambam in Hilchos Shuvah, where the Rambam says every person has the ability to be a tzaddik like Moshe Rabbeinu, or a person has the ability to be a rasha like Yerovam ben Nevat. Every person is given that freedom to make the choice, the right choice or the wrong choice. You make the right choice, you get rewarded. Chas v'shalom, the wrong choice, you get punished. That is what the Gemara is saying. Mr. Safdie, what do you have to say about this Gemara, Mr. Safdie? Powerful Gemara. But you know what? If the Gemara is showing all of us that we have the ability, Hashem gives us the keys, and our job is to drive safely and make the right decisions. Okay, it's like the Anavim, if you want to be with the humble people, then you will have favor in people's eyes. Like it says about Yosef HaTzadik, found favor in everybody's eyes. Esther found Esther HaMalkah. Hashem gives a certain bracha. But that's what will happen. A person who's humble, people like. People like to have friends that are humble. It says in the Bali Musa, people like to be friends with a humble guy. A person who's humble finds favor in people's eyes. But a person who's not humble, who's full of themselves, people don't like to be connected with them. So that's what the Anavim Yitin Chen. Amar Rav Huna. Rav Huna, we continue in the Gemara. Rav Huna says the following. We've been focusing on Rav Huna, some of the statements of Rav Huna. Now, Rav Huna says the following, back to the Gol Hadam. We're back to the person killing somebody, the Gol Hadam. If a Rotzeach, a person that killed unintentionally, that was traveling to the Ari Miklat, it means there was a verdict against him. The court decided that he has to go to exile for the unintentional murder. Umutza'o Goel Hadam. And the Goel Hadam, the relative of the victim, finds him on the road before he came there, and he killed him. So what's the law? The law is patur. He killed him. He was on the road. He wasn't in the place of city of refuge. He didn't reach the city of refuge. Once he reached the city of refuge, the Gol Hadam does not have right to kill him. He's safe. But if he killed him on the road, that's how Rashi learns this Gemara. Rashi says he killed him b'derech. Patur. The Gol Hadam is patur from death. So that's the, now why is that? Ksava, he holds, Rav Huna holds, v'lo ein mishpat movet, when the pasuk says, regarding it says, and he does not have a judgment of death. Begol Hadam who kasuv, who diksiv. That's referring to the Goel Hadam. Who does not have a mishpat movet? If the Goel Hadam, if the relative of the victim kills the murderer who murdered unintentionally, he will not have a velo in mishpat movet. He will not have a death penalty against him. So what does that mean? Yes. Yeah, I'm listening.
People or
yeah. The Torah says that a Jew cannot take vengeance against another Jew.
okay.
But here, the Torah gives an allowance. We're going to see more about this allowance for the relative of the victim to actually kill the one who committed this unintentional murder. But he has a right to kill him only if the guy leaves the city of refuge or is on the way or after the court rendered a verdict that he's obligated to go to the city of refuge. He has a right to kill him on the road. And we said the reason is because there was some level of negligence on behalf of the murderer. He could have avoided this murder. It's not like the guy was totally innocent, right? He could have been more careful going down the ladder. Now, we know the Gemara says that once the court renders a decision that he's obligated exile, we do what we can, try to encourage the relative not to kill him. We send 2 Torah scholars to accompany the guy to exile. And if they meet up with the Goel Hadam, if they meet up with the relative of the victim, they will try to explain to him, sir, it was an unintentional murder. Don't treat him like a real murderer. Okay? So we're trying to dissuade him, but the Torah gave that allowance. Now we're going now on a pasuk. The Gemara, the pasuk by says the following. In Perik Yutes, pasuk Vav. The pasuk says in Devarim, the pasuk says 2 people go to the forest to cut wood, and something went flying. The guy who kills the one who did the unintentional murder, he runs to one of these cities, one of these designated cities. By the way, this week's parasha discusses Moshe Rabbeinu designating the cities. And the pasuk says in Dvarim, less because the Goel Hadam, the relative, might run after this murderer, and he might catch him, and he might kill him. V'lo ein mishpat mavet. And you know what? And he's not going to get killed for killing him. If he catches him and he kills him, he's not going to get killed. So therefore, because he's not going to get killed, so there's a good chance he's going to go after him. Because he knows he's safe if he kills him, because he's not killing because he had a previous hate against the guy, as the pasuk continues. He never had any hate for this murderer before. He's only killing him to avenge the blood of his relative that was killed. So that's the situation. That's the pasuk. Look at the Rashi over here in the Rashi on this Gemara. Begol Hadam. Everyone have the Rashi? Begol Hadam Makkos medaber. You got it? The left side headline is Begol Hadam. Mr. Safdie, you got it? Kiva? Right over here, Mr. Safdie. Begol Hadam, the headline. Begol Hadam Makkos medaber. V'hachi kama. This is what the pasuk means. Pen yidov kol Hadam acher yotzeach. We're afraid, lest the relative run after the murderer, v'sigo, and catch him, be called nofesh, and kill him. V'lo yisirei bezdin. And he's not afraid. The relative who was avenging the blood is not afraid from the courts. Ki ein lo mishpat mavet. There's no mishpat mavet. He will not get killed for that. Then Rashi says, he hate him, Musav al Rosho. So Rashi says, this goes back on the beginning of the pasuk. Pen Yirduv Dor Adam, maybe the Goel Adam, maybe the Goel Adam is going to run after him, and the Omalo, therefore, because of that, I am telling you, I want you to prepare the road, because this is going back on the previous pasuk. It says, I want you to prepare, to make sure. The pasuk says earlier, a couple of stuff, so you have to prepare the road, as we learned. Prepare the road, make sure there's bridges, make sure there's no hills area, mounds, things to make it difficult for the murderer, the one who killed unintentionally, to get to exile. Make it easy for him. Prepare the place for him. And Rashi learns, why this is going back, the end of the pasuk is going back on the earlier concept that we spoke about. Therefore, because he didn't hate him, therefore he didn't kill him, wasn't a premeditated murder that he intended to kill him. Therefore, I tell you to prepare the road. This murder that took place was not intentional. He did not mean to kill him intentionally. So because he did not mean to kill him intentionally, we should do our best to help him. We have signs that are going to say miklat, miklat. That's how Rashi learns the Gemara. However, the Ritva, you see, Ritva learns the way I read the pasuk in the beginning. The Ritva learns that when the pasuk concludes, he did not hate him. Who's it going on? He did not hate him is referring to the one who did the murder, the original murder, or because he does not hate him is referring to the Goel Hadam. Who he doesn't hate him. The pasuk says. The pasuk says, lest the Goel Hadam, the relative, run after the murderer and kill the murderer, and the Goel Hadam will not get killed for it. That's what the Gemara is saying. It's talking about the Velo ein mishpat mavet. It's on the Goel Hadam. And then the verse says, ki, because. So is this because, going back on the subject, on what we're talking about now, he's not going to get killed because he doesn't hate him from the past. He's just avenging the brother victim. That's how the Ritva reads the pasuk. But Rashi reads the pasuk, because it's going back, because he didn't hate, the original murderer didn't hate the guy he killed. That's why you should prepare the road for him. So Rashi, when the pasuk says, Ki lo sonehu lo mitmol shel shom, he didn't hate him from before, is the machloket Rashi and the Ritva. At this junction of the Gemara, is this explaining why? Rashi saying it's explaining why you should help the murderer because he never hated the guy. It's not that he was premeditated murder. Or is it explaining why the Goel Hadam is not going to get killed? The relative is not going to get killed because he did not have any hate. It's not that he's killing out of hate. He's killing out of because he's avenging the blood of not because he has a score to even from the past. It's just he's just killing because of what happened just now. You know, Akiva, what you asked about Nekama, about revenge in this week's parasha, it's going to be Hashem is going to say, Nekom nikmat b'nei Yisrael meit hamidyanim. The Torah says we got to take revenge against those goyim that sent those girls out to help to encourage the Jewish men to sin. You got to take revenge The world got to see that you don't do that. You don't do that with the Jewish people. Okay. So the Gemara says, so now the Gemara says like this, Meitive, I have the following question. Meitive, v'loe mishpat movet. When the pasuk says there's no mishpat movet, there's no judgment of death. There's no judgment of death for this person. We just said v'loe mishpat movet. We just said is referring to who? The Goel Hadam. We just said that the Goel Hadam, the relative has no judgment of death against him. He's not going to get killed. The relative who's avenging the blood is not going to get killed if he kills the murderer, because he's just avenging the blood of his relative. And therefore, because of that, since he has a ticket, so to speak, to kill, his ticket is because he's not going to be held responsible. So therefore, you got to run. You got to run and you got to remain there, because if not, your life, what is Jojo? If you're not, your life will be in jeopardy. So the Gemara says, is it referring to the Ritzeach? Are we referring to the murderer? Does not have a judgment of death to him if he would kill if the murderer is not, the pasuk says, is it that the murderer is not really deserving of death? Because why is he not deserving of death? Because he killed unintentionally. Is that what the pasuk is talking about? Or is the person talking about the relative who avenges the blood is not really worthy of death? So we'll see tomorrow, who are we referring to that he's not worthy of death? Is it the one who killed unintentionally is not worthy of death because it was unintentional? Or is it the person who's avenging the blood of his relative is not worthy of death because he's just avenging the blood of his relative, and therefore we have no right to kill him if he does such a thing? To be TBC, to be continued. Good to see, and welcome back to Jojo. Good to see you.